Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This week, we're looking at a really intense set of sources covering, well, 5 incredibly chaotic days in Salem, October 6th through the 10th.
Yeah, it feels like everything's hitting a crisis point all at once, from, the corporate level right down to the teenagers, demanding immediate attention.
It really is. It's like a cascade failure across the board.
Exactly. And these sources, these weekly spoilers, they basically give us a blueprint for disaster management happening in real time. You've got these major DiMera figures scrambling with damage control over actual crimes.
And then on the flip side, you see the younger generation dealing with the devastating fallout from all this manipulation that's just escalating.
Mm-hmm. So our mission today really is to pull out the knowledge nuggets here. How do the secrets of the powerful, dictate what happens to the more vulnerable? And how are these two huge DiMera crises unfolding side by side?
We need to dissect the calculations, the ethical compromises, the trauma that's resurfacing, and these paternity shocks that are just rewriting everything.
Yeah, understand the true cost of the chaos this week. So let's jump right in, starting at the top with the executives and their, PR nightmares.
Okay, so E.J. DiMera, it seems his version of crisis management is basically just hiding the evidence of messes he made himself. We're talking specifically about that hospital blackout.
Right. And the sources are really specific. This wasn't random. It was targeted sabotage and specifically linked to the renovations for the new Dr. Tom Horton Free Clinic, which, adds this layer of cynicism to it.
Disrupting something meant for the public good. So who orchestrated it? The sources confirm E.J., right?
Yes. E.J. covertly paid Gwen Ritschak. We're talking a significant amount of cash, untraceable, in an envelope.
Okay.
Which she then gave to an electrician who deliberately caused the blackout.
But why? Why risk that kind of exposure? That seems huge.
Well, that's where it shifts from, petty crime to potentially a massive corporate cover-up. The sources hint it wasn't just about causing trouble. It was calculated because they were doing what the sources kind of vaguely call super-duper dirty science stuff. Stuff that needed a huge amount of electricity. So the blackout probably, either masked the power surge, gave them a window to do something sensitive, or maybe prevented discovery.
Wow. So EJ is potentially sacrificing public safety, plunging a hospital renovation into darkness for some shady science project. What does that mean for him publicly?
Oh, the PR nightmare is immediate. If you think about the risk versus reward here, it's massive. Whatever that dirty science stuff is, it must be incredibly valuable to justify this.
And people already know.
Paulina Price and Jada Hunter. They're already clued in about EJ's role. So if this leaks to the wider Salem public that E.J. DiMera jeopardized a clinic for his own gain, it's a huge scandal. It taints him. It taints the DiMera brand.
It's not just a black eye, like you said. It could be career-ending if it's not handled perfectly. So enter Stephanie Johnson, the crisis manager.
It's the best in the business.
We know they struck a deal. What do you think that deal involves, based on the sources? Is it just about the blackout?
I think it has to be two things. First, immediate damage control for the blackout PR mess. Stephanie's got to spin this, maybe blame the electrician, downplay the impact, try to salvage the narrative.
Okay, makes sense. And the second part?
That connects to the future. The grand opening gala for the clinic itself. That's coming up in November.
Right.
The better way to counteract a scandal than pivot to this huge, positive, feel-good event. So the deal probably includes her making that gala flawless. A massive distraction, reinforcing the DiMeras as philanthropists, not, criminals.
High-level image rehab.
Yeah.
But the immediate threat isn't just the public finding out, it's Paulina Price.
Exactly. Paulina confronts EJ directly. This isn't subtle. It's a direct ethical challenge. She knows he did it, and she can use that.
Paulina, who has her own complicated history, but here she's definitely on solid ground.
Totally. She's highlighting the lines he crossed. And her leverage here is significant. She could potentially dictate terms, maybe regarding the clinic or even DiMera operation.
It really sets up a major power struggle. EJ isn't used to being cornered like this.
No, he's not. And Paulina, she has the receipts and the moral high ground this time.
Which makes EJ dangerous, right? When he's desperate.
Absolutely. He's in survival mode. Anyone getting too close to the truth, Paulina, maybe even Stephanie, if she digs too deep, becomes a potential threat. For EJ, those ethical lines are basically gone.
Okay, let's pivot now from the corporate backrooms to the absolute emotional and physical chaos happening with the younger crowd.
Yeah, it's a stark contrast. The DiMera stuff is hidden, but this teen crisis literally explodes into flames, and it's all driven by Sophia Choi's manipulation, which is just getting worse.
It seems anchored by Tate Black's rejection, doesn't it? Holly Jonas turns him down again.
Specifically saying she won't be part of a twisted Sophia-Tate love triangle. She's setting a boundary.
But for Sophia, that just seems to, like, fuel the fire.
Exactly. Her dirty plan gains momentum right after that. And the key weapon she uses first is those sketchy pics she took of Holly earlier.
Right, those pictures are the first domino. They impact relationships, careers. We'll get more into that later.
But what's really crucial is how Sophia escalates from emotional blackmail with the photos to actual physical danger.
How does the fire start? The sources are clear on this.
Very clear. Sophia deliberately gives Holly a lot more booze. The intent is clear. She causes Holly to pass out. This isn't an accident. It's predatory.
Okay.
She knows exactly what spiking her drink will do.
And while Holly's unconscious, that's when the accident happens.
Yeah. She accidentally knocks over a lit candle, sets the dorm room on fire. The alarm goes off. Panic ensues. It's manipulation leading directly to a potentially fatal situation.
Wow. And the rescue. Brady and Tate are involved.
Yes, this happens on Thursday. Brady and Tate hear the alarm. They rush towards the dorm. Ariana's there, panicking, confirming Holly's inside. It's a race against time. Real fear, real concern.
So the immediate dramatic question is, will Tate rushing in, being the knight in shining armor, change Holly's mind about him?
It's definitely set up that way. His actions show loyalty and care, a total contrast to Sophia.
But the immediate fallout, the human consequence, that lands on Maggie Horton-Kiriakis.
Right. And Maggie comes in with her tough love approach, which is understandable given her history.
Yeah, Maggie's sober. She takes alcohol abuse incredibly seriously. Her response is driven by her own past, her own values. But it's based on a lie.
That's the tragedy of it. Maggie sees Holly getting drunk over boy trouble and causing a dangerous fire. That's the narrative she gets.
But Holly has no idea Sophia spiked her drink. She was drugged.
Exactly. So Maggie's severe reaction, coming from that sober perspective, is completely out of proportion to what Holly actually did, or rather, what was done to her.
And the consequences, Maggie suggests, are serious, right? Yeah. Not just a talking to.
Oh no, this is tough love. She's talking collegiate discipline for the fire, underage drinking charges, maybe legal trouble for having alcohol in the dorms. She even mentions mandatory AA meetings or moving Holly back home.
These are huge, life-altering consequences, all based on a false premise because of Sophia's manipulation.
Think about the psychological weight on Holly now. She has to carry the shame and the fallout of a serious incident, completely unaware she was victimized.
That pressure, it almost guarantees the truth has to come out eventually, doesn't it? Especially if she's facing expulsion or legal action.
It seems inevitable. How long can Holly stay silent under that kind of pressure? If she's forced into AA or facing charges, the need to reveal Sophia as the real culprit must become overwhelming. The clock is definitely ticking on Sophia's scheme.
The tension is all built around that deception. We, the audience, know Sophia is guilty, but the people in charge, Maggie, the school, they see a troubled kid who messed up badly.
Which just makes you wait for Sophia's downfall even more.
And the ripple effects of Sophia's plan just keep spreading, now hitting Chanel Dupree and Johnny DiMera right where it hurts most, their dream of adopting little Tesoro.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of how one person's manipulation can just devastate multiple lives. Chanel and Johnny are reportedly stunned on Wednesday. Sophia sent some kind of critical email.
An email that apparently ruins their chances to adopt the baby.
It looks that way. Sophia knew how much they wanted Tesoro and deliberately targeted that hope.
That's incredibly cruel. And the sources say Chanel's heartbreak gets even worse on Thursday. Is that just the adoption falling through for good?
That's one possibility, and it's devastating enough. But the sources hint at something maybe even more personal, more insidious.
Right.
Chanel might discover compromising photos. Photos that Sophia sent from Holly's phone to Johnny's phone.
Wait, the sketchy pics sent to Johnny.
Specifically, pictures of Holly in her lacy little brazier. That's the detail mentioned.
Oh, wow. That's next level. It's not just wrecking the adoption. It's actively trying to destroy the trust between Johnny and Chanel.
Exactly. Using weaponized intimacy, false context, it forces this immediate brutal test of their relationship.
Because Chanel knows the history.
Right.
That Holly had a crush on Johnny.
Right. An unrequited crush. Johnny always saw Holly like a sister. But that history provides the perfect, fertile ground for Sophia's planted evidence.
So the question becomes, does Chanel trust Johnny, the man she loves, who's always been loyal in that regard? Or does she believe the pictures? Pictures designed to make him look like he betrayed her with a minor.
It's the worst possible interpretation, manufactured perfectly by Sophia.
And this isn't just personal drama for Johnny either, is it? It connects to his job.
Absolutely. The stress from Holly's texts, whether it's about the adoption falling through or worse, those explicit photos, puts his teaching job at serious risk.
How specifically?
Well, teachers are held to incredibly high standards ethically, especially regarding interactions with students or recent students. Even if Johnny didn't solicit or respond to those photos, the mere existence of them on his phone, if revealed.
The scandal alone could be enough.
It absolutely could. The school board might feel pressure to dismiss him immediately just to protect their reputation, regardless of his innocence.
So Sophia's plan is just devastatingly effective. She didn't just cause a fire. She engineered a situation where the adults involved face potential ruin, legal, professional, personal, all with an email and a photo.
It really highlights the destructive power of this kind of teen manipulation when it crosses into adult lives and responsibilities.
And everything hinges on Chanel's reaction now. If she doesn't trust Johnny, Sophia basically wins on all fronts. The relationship, the adoption, his career, gone.
And just when you think things can't get more complicated, boom, a ghost from the past arrives.
Jeremy Horton. His return throws a massive wrench into Stephanie Johnson's life right as she's settling down with Alex Kyriakis.
Yeah, the timing is just brutal. It starts off looking like a happy Horton family reunion. Julie Williams is delighted, welcoming family back. Jennifer Horton's in town for clinic press.
A sense of unity. But then Jeremy Horton shows up. JJ's cousin, now played by Trevor Donovan.
Right. And while some of the family might be excited, the sources stress that Julie has no idea about the real history between Jeremy and Stephanie, the turbulent history.
And Stephanie feels it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The stress hits her hard when she learns he's back.
So much so that she confides in Alex. She tells him the truth about their past relationship.
What does she say?
She calls it tumultuous, but then she drops a real bombshell. She describes it as kind of abusive.
Wow. Kind of abusive. That's heavy. That's serious trauma she's carried.
And kept hidden. Now she's forced to reveal it just as she's trying to build a future with Alex.
Does this connect to anything earlier?
It does. The sources link it directly back to her book. Remember, she asked Alex to remove a specific part.
Yeah.
Jeremy is the reason. She was afraid this specific ex, would see it and cause trouble. She was trying to sanitize her past precisely because of him.
And now he's back in Salem. Just as she and Alex hit this huge relationship milestone, they've moved in together.
They literally just settled in, creating this new, shared, safe space. And within hours, that space is threatened by this figure from her traumatic past.
And it's not like he's just, around town. He's actively seeking her out.
Immediately, the sources say he's spotted lurking at Stephanie's door just as they move in. He's not waiting. He's right there, ready to disrupt things.
Lurking? That seems ominous. Why now? Does he know about the book?
It strongly suggests that might be his motivation. Confronting her about what she wrote, or maybe what she didn't write but he suspects she feels. If she alluded to the abuse.
He might be trying to silence her. Or intimidate her.
Could be. Either way, it's more than just an awkward ex encounter. An ex described as kind of abusive, now physically lurking at her new home. That's a serious threat to her safety and stability.
And puts Alex in a tough spot immediately. He has to become her protector right at the start of them living together.
It tests their bond instantly in a really intense way. Can this new stability withstand this old trauma showing up on the doorstep?
It's this clash, isn't it? Present happiness versus this unresolved, dark past she tried to bury.
And Alex's response is crucial. Does he trust her implicitly? Does he stand up to Jeremy? Or does the ambiguity of tumultuous versus kind of abusive cause friction? His support, or lack thereof, could make or break them right now.
Okay, our last major area focuses on two dads really going through it. Chad DiMera dealing with his son's emotional trauma, and Brady Black grappling with this huge paternity shock.
Chad's situation is just heartbreaking. The source of Thomas's pain is another child, wicked little Rachel Black, as the sources call her.
Rachel seems to be channeling her own issues into hurting others.
Yeah, the sources explicitly note her behavior is getting more aggressive. Her rants up, setting the stage for the actress Alice Halsey to exit. It feels like they're escalating her pain and malice to justify her departure.
So what does Rachel do to Thomas?
She tells him his dad, Chad, is involved with Cat Green, which is tough enough for a kid who lost his mom. But then Rachel adds this vicious lie. She claims Kat was pretending to be Thomas's dead mother, Abigail.
Oh my God, that's cruel.
The sources say Thomas's jaw just dropped. Imagine hearing that. The new woman in your dad's life was supposedly mocking your dead mother's memory. It's a horrible, complex adult deception to dump on a grieving child.
So Chad's left picking up the pieces. How does he even begin to explain the fake Abby thing to Thomas?
It's an impossible dilemma explaining corporate espionage, identity theft to a kid, especially one who maybe was starting to like Kat.
What are the immediate consequences for Chad and Kat?
Well, Thomas might reasonably say he doesn't want Kat anywhere near them, and Chad and Kat just got intimate, so Chad's torn, protect his son's feelings or pursue his own chance at happiness. Pushing Kat away could cost him that relationship, but keeping her close could alienate his son.
Just a no-win situation created by Rachel's malice.
Pretty much. It's a tragic character arc for Rachel, really. Her pain turning into inflicting trauma.
Okay, shifting to Brady. He gets hit with this paternity bombshell about little Tesoro from Kayla.
Yes. Kayla delivers stunning news, which strongly implies
That the baby isn't Tate's.
that seems the most likely interpretation of stunning. Brady probably went in expecting confirmation it was Tate's baby, so this changes everything. It means Sophia was either wrong or, more likely, lying to Tate about who the father was.
So what happens next?
New alliances form. Steve Johnson asks Brady for help figuring out who Tesoro's real parents are. It becomes an actual investigation.
Not just family drama anymore.
No. The sources suggest the logical next step is Steve, Brady, maybe Ref Fernandez, pushing for a DNA test on Sophia herself to confirm the mother is indeed Sophia, and then try to figure out who the father could be.
So the mystery just deepens significantly.
Hugely. It shifts from who slept with whom to a full-on procedural to establish the facts.
And we also get little updates on other relationships in the mix.
Yeah, quick hits. Xander and Sarah are starting couples therapy soon. That's progress for them.
But maybe not great news for Brady.
Possibly. The sources suggest Brady might be upset hearing Sarah's getting close to Xander again, given their history and maybe his own lingering feelings. Just adds another layer of personal chaos for him.
And finally, Gwen Ridcheck. She's in a vulnerable place.
Very. Needs a friend, apparently doesn't even want to look at Leo right now, even though he saved her. She ends up talking to Kat Green.
Kat, who's involved with Chad.
Right. Kat probably confides in Gwen about her new relationship. But Gwen knows things.
About EJ's blackout scheme, she was the money courier.
Exactly. So while talking to Kat, Gwen might subtly probe. Ask about the hospital renovations, the lab work, the blackout itself. She's looking for connection, but her insider knowledge is always there.
And the twist is, Gwen gets suspicious of Kat.
That's what the sources say. Despite needing a friend, suspicion starts to creep in about Kat.
How could that connect?
Well, Gwen knows EJ needed that blackout for some super-duper dirty science stuff. If Kat, who's now linked to Chad, EJ's rival, mentions anything related to the lab, the science, the clinic, Gwen's antenna will go up.
Because she knows the secret reason behind the blackout.
Precisely. That suspicion could be the thread that unravels EJ's entire cover-up. It dangerously connects the corporate crime directly to the burgeoning relationship between Kat and Chad. Hashtag outro.
So wrapping up this week's deep dive, you really see this striking contrast playing out in Salem, don't you?
You absolutely do. On one hand, you have the executives, like EJ, desperately trying to manage PR, cut deals, and basically cover up crimes. All about controlling perception.
And on the other hand, you have fathers like Chad and Brady who are dealing with the raw emotional damage hitting their sons. Chad explaining betrayal, Brady launching an investigation. It's about managing real human fallout.
The instability is just palpable by the end of the week. Alex and Stephanie move in, aiming for peace, and immediately trauma. Jeremy is literally lurking at their door.
Yeah, that image is chilling, poised to destroy their new beginning.
And the big mysteries just get deeper. Tesoro's paternity is now a full-blown police matter, needing DNA tests on Sophia. And Gwen, who holds a key piece of EJ's criminal puzzle, starts getting suspicious of Kat. The threads are tightening.
So thinking about what this means for you, the listener, we've drawn this clear line, haven't we, between EJ's corporate secrecy, that specific cash payment, the blackout, and the very real consequences for the younger generation. The fire, the adoption heartbreak, Johnny's job risk.
It all seems connected. So here's the final thought. Given how powerful EJ is and how desperate he was to facilitate that secret science stuff with the blackout, what are the odds that the answers to the biggest teen mysteries, why Sophie is doing all this, or even who Tesoro's real father is, aren't just about teenage drama?
You're suggesting they could be hidden. Where?
What if they're actually rooted in Salem's high-powered, cynical business world? What if EJ's secret project somehow connects to Sophia's motives or to Sora's origins?
Is all this chaos we've seen this week just collateral damage, the unintended consequence of power plays happening far above the kids' heads?
Yeah. That's the question to ponder. Is the teen drama merely a symptom of a much larger, hidden corporate game?
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.